Broken border. The U.S. border with Mexico stretches 1,952 miles. Between 2016 and 2020, only 52 miles of new wall were constructed at a cost of $21 million per mile, with only 1,285 miles left to go. As passages through the southern border are tightened, more come through the border with Canada. The U.S.-Canadian border is the longest international border in the world, stretching over 6,000 miles, including places like the Great Lakes. Do the math. No, not just of the cost, but of the hundreds of years it would take to fully close just the southern border, which accounts for only half the immigration traffic. Only half. So much for simple solutions. Immigrants come from more than 200 different countries and territories. That includes places like Ecuador, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Bolivia, Cuba, and China, countries with which the U.S. has no deportation agreements. Even after deportation, migrants just begin the journey again, perhaps 8 times or more. They ride on the top of freight cars. They get caught by the Mexican migras and police. Mexico captures and sends back almost a dozen busloads of migrants every day. Back home, the migrants struggle to raise a family in a neighborhood that may be controlled by gangs, where the police are just as likely to commit a crime as to solve one, if they respond at all. It's the jobs. If they can reach the U.S., they can find jobs in construction or at big corporations and small companies that pay more in an hour than they could make in a month. Money they send back home to relatives who depend on their support. They're willing to walk for weeks or months through the jungles of the Berrien Gap in Central America, only to be locked up in a box by bandits until relatives can pay a ransom. They brave crossing a river where bodies are recovered every day. After that, razor wire and 30-foot walls and facing months of detention are merely an inconvenience. Solving the border crisis is more than simply closing the border and arresting those who cross. Addressing the symptom is useless when ignoring the cause, because simple solutions simply don't work. Broken Border: Understanding the Global Forces Shaping the Immigration Crisis. Simply the most topical and current book you can read today. Available at Amazon.com and other bookstores.